What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Our Perspectives. I believe today we are episode 69, which is appropriate to be talking about Drake, I think, because we are 16. I mean, come on, it's not my fault that's the meme. I didn't make the meme. I didn't start the thing. It's the real thing. Um, Nothing wrong with being a 69 person. If that's what you into, all love and
It's
respect.
not. There's nothing wrong with it. Suddenly, everybody
Not at
wants to
all.
be prudes. Everybody from the advent of the internet being what it is up until this year was all, hey, if I die, delete my search history, which, by the way, sounds crazy. I don't know what you freak ass motherfuckers were doing all these years searching Lord knows what on the internet. But now suddenly nobody's a freak. You're all fucking priests and fucking nuns judging Drake, calling him a freak ass bull. Come on, man. It's the bullshit.
I agree. Still a thing. Kendrick made it a thing. What's up, everyone? My name is Holden Stefan Roy, and this is Lady Bro Flacco, and we are here with another episode to talk about what's going on over the course of the week and our thoughts and perspectives on that as we build up for the rest of the year and whatnot. So, what have you been up to, Flacco?
Um, a bunch of partying. It was the boy Bucky's birthday. Happy birthday, Bucky. Um,
Uh,
and we just did a bunch of celebrating from Thursday night. We um we set up Afro Punk during the week. Did a couple other jobs. Did this other job called Curl Fest in the same location that Afro Punk was at. And then we set up Afro Punk. And then Thursday night, we partied in the Bronx. Then Friday night, we went to Del Frisco's and then partied in Hell's Kitchen. And then Saturday, we went to my family barbecue and we went to Afro Punk and watched Erykah Badu and partied some more at this other bar that I forget the name of in Brooklyn. Um, yeah, though, that's a nice little. We partied in the Bronx, partied in Manhattan, partied in Brooklyn. Um,
it was
big old
partying all
weekend of
over the city, or
partying, partying, partying.
at least the three boroughs that you feel are worth visiting.
Right. No need to step foot in Queens.
So I sometimes
Ain't they
see.
ain't they ain't no party in Staten Island to attend to. So, and
That's
even if
fair.
there was, we wouldn't be going.
That's fair. I don't know how long it takes to get there, but you made it sound like it's not really worth going all the way out there for the most part.
Definitely not worth going all the way over there for nothing.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a good week. Um, I recorded some shit on Wednesday and went up there, made that happen. So got something coming soon. I don't know when. I'm just trying to stack songs more than worrying about putting stuff out. I'm just trying to get all the stuff processed, work with different people, and like just get enough stuff in the bank so that when next year comes, I just got a whole bunch of shit ready to go. So I'm not really worrying about releasing it as much as creating it. And then I I went to go volunteer at this puppet parade thing where these people make like arts and crafts style puppets. It's like kids and family stuff, and
Or
there's like a
like,
bunch.
or
Not
you talk about marionette puppets.
more like picture like a bird, and you got like a stick, and like it like flaps its
Oh,
wings, and like
Sesame
it's some
Street.
shit. Yeah, like some shit
Sesame
that
Street does on the sticks.
but like a little more like done
There's
in 2 weeks at a
ventriloquist
camp.
puppets. There's ventriloquist puppets with the hand up the puppet body.
Nah,
Then there is marionette puppets with the strings. and then there's those stick puppets, which are
I would.
Sesame Street
This is
puppets.
more the street stick puppets. That's more the one that we're in that realm of that. So it's like
So it's a hand and the sticks.
well, I mean, this is more like people did what they could with the time they had. So like I saw this girl had like a fish and she could make the fish wiggle and like shit like that. Like
Okay.
so it's like it was like the community kind of like had like a camp where like kids and people could go in the afternoon if you had like nothing else going on and like make these puppets. And then the parade was like showcasing it. So it's like the board of the not for profit I'm with was involved. So I pulled up to block traffic and was like trying to stop people from wasting their time. But I was just a guy in the street, so people ended up wasting their time. And yeah, it was pretty fun though. Watching like sometimes you watch these little community things and you're like, damn man, there's a lot of happy people out there just doing simple arts and craft shit, just having their best lives and not caring about much else in the world. And then on Sunday, I drove like 2.5 hours out of Montreal to this random campground by a bridge to a very small music festival that was quaint, but like pretty small to perform. And it was alright. Was there for a few hours, and what I learned was I should have gone the night before and pulled up at 1:30 in the morning because Bonnie and I went to this fancier place for dinner on Saturdays, so I shot a video there.
I saw pictures of you at an actual nice restaurant. I was like, oh, look at Holden
Yeah,
going out somewhere actually nice.
like sometimes work works out like that. But it felt like you would have approved of this menu and been like you would like this place. Actually,
It looked like the
any
type of place I would like.
anything that this restaurant group owns, I think you would fuck with. Um, but like yeah, so we went there. But the problem was is that like not the problem. But we finished around like 11. I said we got home. So this place is like 2.5 hours away from Montreal. I wasn't sure if it was worth going down, getting there at 1:30, and then like everyone's like a fucking sleep or whatever. That would have been really shitty. Turns out the party did go to like 4 in the morning, but still, I went on Sunday. Got there, there was like naked people in the river and shit, cause it's like that like hippie shit where they just be nudists. It's not like sexual. It's just some nudist shit, and so like yeah, it's that whole hippie vibe. It's
White
so
people love
different.
getting naked, boy. I tell you, white people love getting naked.
Just jumped right in. Just
You would
no.
think that white people had some of the baddest bodies in the world, the way that they like to get dirty and down.
Well,
But no,
some of them are pretty bad, but some of them are not. Some of them are. You find though the ones that really do want to get naked are very regular. They're just like, I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm gonna jump in this river in your face. Look, don't look. I don't care. But it was fun. I got like a couple of free drinks as an artist, and like we performed, and it started pouring rain. And something else white people really like doing, and I was really wondering if this is something that would happen in the hood, but these white people just started dancing in the rain and the mud and jumping up and down and shit and stripping down again. And I was like, I was looking around like, this has got to be some really, really white people shit going on right here. And that was what I was left with. Like, it's definitely more white than like city white. It's like out there hippie country white.
oh, I know I'm familiar. Just because I'm a city boy don't mean I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm a city boy because I have frequented so much country shit. I know for a fact I love city shit more than I love country shit. Will I
But
partake in some country uh backyard bumping? I'm absolutely down for it every once in a blue. I can partake. I can have a good old time. You would think that because I'm a drippy motherfucker, I wouldn't get my clothes dirty, but I got clothes that I want to get dirty, and I don't mind getting dirty. And I go and I have fun, but I'm definitely not staying for too much fun.
that's
By
fair.
too much
Quebec's got
fun,
like
I mean too many days in a row doing that shit.
Yeah, I got like a
Those
2-3 day max before it's like I gotta go back to where regular showers are. Cause yo, there's no showers. It's jump in the fucking river and clean yourself and shit. Like it's on some fucking like roughing it. Not roughing it per se, but definitely not city shit. And everyone's
a
disgusting, and that's just what it is collectively. But
what
I
up,
will say,
Lindell? What up,
Highlindale.
Bonnie? What up, CC? Sorry we haven't shouted you guys out. We're just over here rambling and rambling.
Yeah, but I will say, Quebec got a whole lot of these campground fucking rave fucking weekends, and they are actually pretty fun from what I can tell. If you want to go do drugs for like 2 days with a bunch of random hippies, it's a vibe, and definitely worth experiencing here and there.
Work.
But yeah, then today I played the post office played chicken with me, and thankfully I was able to get my weed before the stream, so I didn't have to fucking delay our trip tomorrow. And that brings us to now. I think you froze. I'm not sure if you did. Is everything
Did
freezing?
I?
Yeah,
Did
now
I?
you unfroze. You have unfrozen for a quick second, yeah. But I guess we could use that as an awkward segue into talking about Drake.
I mean, did I though? Because I was coughing. I thought you would have saw me coughing.
Nah, I was completely like on my side at least
Maybe,
frozen.
maybe when I muted myself, it froze. That's crazy. I just finished updating Zoom though. I always update Zoom before I jump on my iPad to do the show.
Mm. Do you guys have to update Zoom every time with that? Is that many updates?
Nah, just I mean, yes and no though. You should when you turn Team iPhone, you should update your apps pretty frequently, like I would say at least weekly.
Mm.
Because most app companies are constantly updating their apps. And you and me are the update kind of guys. We do the update, the latest update, and then we inform the rest of the world about how these apps are working, right? Like if I were to do this on here, right?
Yeah,
Oh no,
I think I enabled
that's
it. No, it's
you
not working
enabled
now.
it or you
No, no,
disabled
I,
it.
I went. It should work. I don't know why it's not. Maybe Zoom changed it recently, but I know I found the setting and I turned it on for the first time because it wasn't doing it for me. So, and then I was looking into this whole like transcript shit because I kept fucking it up, and yeah, Zoom's got a whole lot of shit baked into it right now, like extra apps. There's like a music player that plays the shittiest random selection of Zoom curated music. It's got some other like interesting tools where like if you were trying to use it for work or brainstorming, it's pretty popping.
And that's my point, right? We like to be those guys that are current and updated with the latest stuff on whatever apps we're using. So yeah, and then also for the show, I don't want ever for us to be doing the show and my shit to lag or crash because I didn't do the latest update,
Mm,
which usually ends up being the thing that happens when the app updates and you don't update with it. You end up
right.
crashing because you're on the old format of it and they're trying to get
I
you
still
to
I was like
update
just
to the new
surprised
shit.
by how fast like on the Windows version, I don't even think Zoom updates. It might be like every 8 months for a new version. Or maybe it goes
Yeah,
quicker, but
absolutely. Absolutely. Like about every 8 months. But on iPhone and the Apple store, that shit gets updated maybe every at least once a month, if not
mm,
more, probably twice. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm updating all my apps on here right now, and like in the process of a week, 60 something apps need to be updated, you know?
that's cool.
But
Yeah.
they're probably taking turns, these updates update first of the month, the first week of the month, the
Well, I was
second
thinking
week.
about it. Android does have a lot of updates. I wouldn't say it's every week you're updating something like Zoom, but you might get like a couple a month.
Yeah, it won't be like Zoom, but it'll be like, okay, this week I updated Facebook. Next week I updated fucking Marvel Contest of Champions. The week after that, and then there's like 50 other apps that I barely use, but I'm also updating them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, or
then
like, is
and
there a bunch
then
of
the Zoom update is like, like once a month, like I said, like once in every 5 times in that rotation, the
but
Zoom
like
got to get updated.
is there a lot of bloatware on Apple? Like shit you just have to have and you can't
A lot of
remove?
what? What
Bloat
where?
bloatware. Like on Samsung, you got like 15 apps that like are just there. Can't get rid of them. They're not useful.
Nah.
Nobody wants them.
Oh, nah. Facebook is pretty. I mean, Facebook, iPhone is pretty good with that. I mean, there are wild apps that come with the phone, right? Like your wallet comes with the phone. Your settings come with the phone, like the app
Right, right.
settings app,
This
the
is
the
more
App
like
Store app.
all right, cause
Your notepad, your clock, your alarm, your voice note app. These are all apps though that you want on your phone. You know what I mean?
right. It's more
Um,
like cause it's
but and
like
then
I
they
got
do
all
have some
the
like
Galaxy shit, right? There's all the Android shit that's like stock, so all the Googles, the wallets, whatever. But then you also got all the Samsung shit that pulls up on the phone. So you have like this competition of Samsung and the Google shit kind of competing. So you'll end up with like two app stores and you can't really get rid of either, and shit like that starts happening, and it's like yeah, because the Samsung app store, you can like sort of disable it, but it will always be on your phone.
oh, right. So Samsung App Store wants to compete with the Google App Store, and Google's
Yeah,
like, no, bitch, they're using Android. You're
and
gonna
then
fucking we're gonna use the Google store, not your stupid Samsung store. And Samsung's like, we make all your phones that matter. Your Google phones don't matter. Nobody cares about them. God damn it. We're gonna fucking include our store in every phone. And
the
Google's like,
fucking
fuck
Bixby.
you. And then Samsung's like, fuck you. But they're like, okay, buddy, come on. And then they go to the bar together and they have drinks. And they're like, and then they see Apple there and they're like, fuck you, Apple, together. You know what I mean? And Apple's
Yeah,
just like, popping champagne. Like they won another championship and shit, in the back, just popping champagne. That's me, popping champagne in the face of the IPA beer drinkers and shit.
yes, I would say that's an app metaphor. But yeah, basically you have all this extra shit that like Samsung
Double
throws on there.
entendre holding. That's an app metaphor.
Mm, let's fucking go.
You didn't even peep that you did that.
Nah, sometimes it just pours out of me and I don't really notice. What's
You
up,
gotta hold on,
Gregory
Holden. That was a
Black?
mistake, okay? You're gonna do that on purpose. What the
Was
fuck are
not,
you
no.
talking about?
But I'm gonna take
Okay?
credit for it because it
And you
was
don't
still
even
credit.
realize that it's not even. You would need me to explain the fullness of the double entendre because
Well,
it's
come
not
on, I
even
get the
spelled the
double.
same way.
I get the
It's not
double.
even spelled the same way.
Right?
There's
I
a
still
difference
get that
between
it
act
works.
and app.
I get that. But I listen to
All
enough
right.
rap, and then enough of you battle rappers can't help but post your bars. Not you, but the battle rapper world. Can't help but post the bars with the parentheses to make sure you get the
It's
double when
crazy.
it's.
Before you knew me, you didn't have like hardly any battle rappers in your timeline at all.
There was still some from Montreal, but outside of that,
Yeah, there
no.
were some from Montreal, but that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew who you knew. You told me
I-
who you knew.
Yeah.
Shouts to
And
shouts to Justice. Word up. Shouts to Justice.
he be really
Shouts to
making
Lo
his moves.
shouts to Lo Pesci. Um and shouts to all the Montreal rappers and the Debble and Dabble and battle rapping as well. And you said Gregory Black,
Yeah, he was in Facebook for a quick minute.
that's Soze.
Yeah, I remembered that.
Shouts to Soulful Souls. Um, yeah, Soulful Souls. We interviewed him
Yeah,
in the Perspective series.
we
Great
did.
producer, hailing out of Brooklyn. Word up. Shouts to him.
Yeah.
You keeping an eye out for anybody trying to come in the room?
Is someone supposed to be coming in the room?
Yes, I'm surprising you too.
Oh,
Not
fair.
anymore. Thanks for running it, Holden.
Well, like I am keeping an eye out, but you made it very clear with your statement that I should be. So I was like, well, I guess somebody's coming. I'm not sure what else to infer from that statement. Um, but yeah, that's always exciting. Surprise guests on perspectives. You never know what's gonna happen. Then you see
Guys,
Soulful
get some
Souls pulls up.
perspective. Soulful souls. Um. All right, yeah, man. Let's get into it and shit. Um,
Yeah,
Drake dropped three new songs. Um, No Face, Circadian Rhythm, and SOD Super Soaker. Or Super Soak. Uh, yeah. Did you hear the tracks?
I listened to them one time right before the stream, so I can't say I have like the biggest opinion, but I will say
Right.
this is definitely what Drake should be doing. These interesting song drops.
Did you hear the other three songs before?
I didn't actually end up listening to the 100 gigs ones. I sort of just
Bugging.
slept on them.
That's where you bugging. That's where you bugging. Because the 100 gig ones are the ones that are those are getting burned. Those are getting big time burned. He got one of them shits is with fucking Lotto. One of them shits is with Thugger and 21 Savage. And then the other one, I believe, is the solo one. All three though are wildfire. And then he
Right,
drops this one, these three. No Face was the first one that he dropped. And he dropped it with Playboy Cardi on the hook. Um, which, you know, the people that are trying to criticize Drake keep on citing that this is not a good look for him. The songs with 21 Savage, Young Thug, then out of the 100 gigs, three songs. And then now they're saying, look, he has to lean on Atlanta again with Playboy Cardi. Um, it's no secret I'm a Drake fan. I'm definitely not of the same mindset and opinion as everyone else that is saying that. Uh, this is the thing, man, is like I find it offensive when people who aren't friends with my family, talk about my family like their family.
right.
And so it's silly. Like Dugga, 21 Savage, these people have strong relationships with Drake and they don't feel the same way Future feels, right? Like they're not beefing over pussy, which is what the Future and the Metro Boomin beef stemmed over, right? Is women over some
Right.
uh jump offs. And Thugger doesn't strike me as a person to care about that. Um, and 21 Savage definitely doesn't seem like the type to care about that. Like, oh, you ended up fucking a girl that I was fucking. Like, so, and like, we're single. What the fuck? Like,
I mean, if you
what?
do listen to Drake's music, though, it does seem like Drake cares a lot about that happening.
He might. he
I'm
might.
not.
He might.
It's just something I've noticed. I'm not saying
No,
it's
yeah, he
oh,
definitely insinuates then the music.
but yeah, I feel like also a lot of these people are just bigger picture people. As much as like the culture can quote unquote well, the quote unquote culture can feel a way about Drake or Kendrick's moment or things like that. At the end of the day, if Drake comes and releases hits you up today and is like, "Do you want to do a song?" I'm pretty sure most people would say yes. Even people that were publicly talking shit about him 2 months ago would all of a sudden still do a song with him because at the end of the day, they can't go number one without him. Drake is still proving he can capture attention. He's not really advertising. He's just kind of doing these like sly releases and like it's
I mean,
getting
there's a
attention.
reason to it, right? Like, this is all stemming from the beef. And he said and mentioned that during the beef, he felt that Spotify was purposely skewing the numbers so that Kendrick would get more burn and giving Kendrick's songs more of a bump on the front pages. Um, and so he felt like the mainstream platforms are disrespecting him. And so now he's dropping music not through those streaming platforms specifically, sending traffic in other directions to one, take a stance against the entities that he thinks were disrespecting, right? So that's
Right.
Spotify, Apple Music, because all this stuff has been coming out on Instagram, and then from Instagram it goes to YouTube, and from YouTube, people
Well,
pass
he's
it
still.
around.
I think he's still gonna put it on Spotify because he put 100 gigs
We
on
will see.
Spotify.
He put 100 gig. Yeah, he put 100 gigs on Apple and Spotify, but that was like 2 weeks after.
That's what I was gonna
You know,
say. Is because
so
he like
so
let.
it's kind of like the movies thing, right? Where it's like, yo, even if we plan on sending it to streaming early, we're still gonna make our money in the movie theaters, and whatever we can make these first 2 weeks. Apple TV does that a lot. Like they did that with that Napoleon movie. Um, they did it with like a couple other movies that they dropped on their streaming network, but first they dropped it in movie theaters for like 2 weeks or something like that. And
Right.
then like 2 weeks after that, they put it on their Apple streaming platform. So Drake is
Yeah.
kind of doing the same thing, where he's like, I'm gonna collect my money first and foremost, and then we'll let you guys get in on the fun again. But I'm not depending on you necessarily to drop my new music, and I'm not giving you any power with my choices,
Right. I mean,
I'm going
just
to drop.
like looking at the songs though too, like you could see that people were really like they were fucking with it. It wasn't like he got hundreds of thousands of likes on these songs. It wasn't just like ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't released to his page. They were released to some like other page.
No, well, he released them on his Instagram page, and then on his burner account Instagram page, and
Right.
then and then uh, they would then rip them and put them on YouTube channels, and then the YouTube channels accumulated hundreds of thousands. Let me see. I believe that um, one of those songs was at like 500,000.
Right.
You know, and that's like
I mean, they each are over five. They're one of them's at 6.2 million on
yeah.
Reels,
No
four point
Face with
six
Playboy
on Minute.
Cardi has 500,000 on Rap Nation. The uh it's crazy because it's on multiple pages. One page has a 3,000 view No Face video. The other page has a 42,000 view No Face video. Even the reactions, the Law Twins, 110K views in 2 days for the Drake No Face audio leak reaction. Then this Blase page, No Face, official new song release, 348,000. So he essentially has 1 million views on that one song, split amongst wild different pages. No Face, 42,000 views. These are all literally the same song, just on different pages.
But I also
Um,
think it's just like despite everything, you could. A lot of people were acting like Drake would never come back or get counseled or anything, and that he's choosing to do these really unorthodox release strategies just to prove he can still get numbers with no like. Let's be honest, just dropping songs to Instagram like out of nowhere on your backup account just like that. It's like the type of thing that arguably anybody else doing would flop. And then maybe there's a few people that would do like some success, but Drake is just proving he can still pull off ridiculous shit with ridiculous numbers because he's Drake and nothing changed. And the songs are good. I mean, I didn't hear, like I said, I didn't listen to the 100 gigs ones, but like on a first listen for
100
the
gig
other
ones.
three,
Those are the ones
they
you
were
got to
pretty
go
good.
back to listen to. Those are the ones you really got to go back and listen to. The 100 gigs ones. Those are the bangers. Like that. That was. We were already dancing to that shit on work sites. And that's it's like, oh, new vibe.
But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Nah. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the 100 gig songs more, but it's also probably because I haven't gotten to like fucking have a moment to these three new songs. Um, they're also much more clearly pointed at like the whole beef and shit. You know, like No Face and Circadian Rhythm both are clearly like talking about things related to the beef. He says something about uh
oh my God.
damn, he says something about enemies. Uh he's been waiting for his enemies to
Right. Yeah, I'm just
do
searching
some
real
shit
fast.
like this. No Face. A what? A what? I could hear Drake. Um start saying ad libs and totally start.
Eric's
Uh
no face Drake.
There's so many people we turning the tables on. Cop. Oh, let's see. Yeah, he's talking about the beef, right? Because he's like, this is the shit that my daddy had raised me on. Niggas got lit off the features I skated on. Super talking about the beef right there. Talking about Future. Talking about Ross. Talking about everybody, right? Um, I gotta know how you get lit off the nigga you hating on. Numbers untouchable. They got the data wrong. So they got the data wrong is like right there is alluding to what we were talking about with the
Right.
um with the Spotify beef. This is the moment I know they be praying on. What a what a try the boy try to knock the boy off, but fuck it, I'm staying on. Oh, keep on sending me slaps to go crazy on. Oh, keep on sending me slaps to go crazy on. 40 keeps saying it's time to be patient. So he's saying that 40's telling him to like chill out and fall back. It's so
Right.
many people, it's so many people we turning the tables on. Capo got plans, but we'll save that for later on. Um, so he's saying he got plans. But he's not really ready to divulge that, you know? There's so many people that turning the tables on. Hushel keeps saying they know that they played it wrong. Katie just texted, "What the fuck are we waiting on?" Me, I'm expressionless. Niggas be talking about don't shoot the messenger. Fa 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 fa. You got shot for way less in here. None of you pussies is blocking my blessings here. What? Um,
Right.
yeah, he's clearly talking about things. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, he looks like I felt
he's
like.
still ready to go. I don't get sleepy off melatonin. I don't get sleepy off no melatonin. My therapist put in a 30-day notice because I keep on talking about beefing and business and money and women. It's no diagnosis. They emptied the clip quick, swapped that shit out, and came back reloaded. I'm just so happy that niggas who envied and held that shit in got to finally show it. That's the bar that I was talking about. I'm just so
Mm,
happy that niggas who envied and held that shit in got to finally show it. Like,
mm,
word, show your true colors. You know what I mean? I be feeling like that when like people inadvertently jump out the window on me on some like. There's been wild people throughout the years, right? That like they're like I know this is on them. But I'm also like, I'm not here to play your savior, right? Like, if let's were to say you and me go hang out, Holden, right? We go on a boys' weekend. We get shit faced drunk together, right? And in the middle of being shit faced drunk, I say something and you try to like, you want to fight or you get offended and you start saying some crazy shit to me. Like, that's why something, something, you know? And I'm just like, oh, let me hear some more. Let me hear some more. Give me more of what you're holding back. Because I'm not a holder backer. You know what I mean? So I don't ever have anything that I'm feeling about people that I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to tell them about themselves. I'm like, tell them about themselves every time I see them. Can't help myself. If something bothers me, I'm gonna tell you in the moment what the fuck it is and what's bothering me. I'm not gonna let a lot of time pass by on it, you know? But somebody who is bothered by things or is secretly envious or jealous or hateful, they're gonna have things that they hold back, right? I'm not saying that you, right? I'm saying
Nah, I didn't take it like
in
that.
that imaginary
Nah, I
in
mean
that imaginary
honestly, even what
scenario,
you're
you know? And
describing,
that's
I've had local moments recently where certain people didn't express their shit. I'm trying to play nice with certain people, so I'm gonna be vague. But like they just didn't express their shit and months went by and some bullshit transpired. Bullshit that ended up traveling to other bullshit and all kinds of dumb shit, all because ultimately people weren't really able to express what they really felt in a timely manner and let things build up, get in their heads. And then when you're doing that shit, maybe reality gets distorted a bit too. And I'm not saying exclusively anybody's situation. I don't know what Kendrick was thinking, but I do know that if you're harboring hate for a decade, you're gonna have it's gonna have an effect on you and how you see the overall picture and the situation.
yeah,
And so like yeah, it's not
for
good to
sure.
it. I'm not saying I'm the quickest with like addressing everybody with everything, but if there's really an issue with people, like you're really gonna keep working with people, then you gotta deal with it at some point, because otherwise, the passive aggressive weirdo shit that comes is not good for anybody involved. Unless you're Drake, and that's a big way that you make money with trolling the world, because he is quite good at this, quite good at taking these moments and capitalizing on them. There's like summaries
Right.
of Drake capitalizing on sub disses and other petty bullshit. As much as there's a lot of shit, whatever, but like Drake is able to just make a random Instagram post on the pettiest, weirdest shit and just reignite sales in his life.
Pretty popular guy.
Yeah.
Regardless, I really like that line. I'm just so happy that niggas who envied and held that shit in got to finally show it. I'm over the moon. Yeah, we'll see you boys soon. I'm spreading my wings. I hop out of cocoon. I'm studio trapping. I'm locked in a room. What? Holding like so I say what? I could tell. It reminds him of Drake's actual what?
You guys, so
What?
it's like a litty twist on it. You know what it
Niggas
is?
the what?
You have like a sincere
Niggas the what?
enthusiasm for it. Like you really like
Yeah.
it. It's like
Yeah,
you
nah,
just in
fact.
it. Like a teenager
I
almost.
definitely do. I definitely do. I definitely keep a young mindset when it comes to music. I allow the music to like really, I really have never gotten sour on music. I tell people all the time, especially people from my era, I'm like, you're not a hip hop fan. You're a fan of the 90s era.
Mm.
You're a fan of 90s New York City rap. You're not even a fan of the 90s era because the 90s era included guys like E40 in the Bay Area and Sick With It Records. It included the Ghetto Boys and Rap A Lot Records. It included Luke and uh, True Live Crew. It included all these
Or like, what
places
about the
that
something
most
like
New
the
Yorkers,
Memphis stuff,
right? Absolutely, 8 Ball and MGK, MGK,
or
yeah.
even like the earlier stuff where they would do shit like just jack.
MJG. Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God.
right,
It's because I kept on
MJG.
seeing stupid ass news about fucking MGK
But I
all
was thinking
fucking
like somebody
weekend.
put me onto like the early '90s like DJ Paul and them fucking mixtapes where they would do shit like jack somebody else's lyric and make a hotter song off of somebody else's bar and just loop that one line for like the whole song, and like all of this was playing its part in building up the culture too, which
Every right, because what I was doing right was just naming right, because when I say E40 in the Bay and Sick with It Records, that represents Oakland and the sound that was coming out of Oakland in the early '90s. And then when I say Ghetto Boys and Rap A Lot Records, I'm talking about the sound of Houston back in the '80s into the '90s. Same thing with Two Live Crew and Luke. That's the sound of Miami. Then there's the Cash Money Boys in New Orleans, uh, inventing the bounce sound, right? Because Master P and No Limit Records existed before them, but they didn't develop that sound of the
right.
bounce. And so, but like every area, all that came about in the '90s as well. So, like, the '90s was not just about Mobb Deep and Nas and Wu Tang and New York's and Biggie and Method Man. Like, it wasn't just New York City hip hop. There were all these other regions bubbling and like sprouting up with their own twist and version of hip hop. And a lot of the homies that I know from that era, they tend to be New York City purists that, really feel like New York City hip hop from the '90s is the greatest thing ever, and there will never be nothing better than it. And so, but I tell them they're not
No, but
fans
they
of hip
got
hop.
a lot
Like,
of them
they're
also
fans of an
have
era and a region.
they do.
And I'm not like that. I've been a fan of hip hop in general from when I was a little boy all the way until now, grown ass man. Like, I've never fallen out of love with hip hop. I've been in love the entire time. I've always found music that I find to my liking, and to like, I always find new music to my liking and to whatever like I'm going through in the moment. Because I'm also going through those like phases of like, I hate the radio. I hate everything that's on the radio. Fuck commercial music. I went through that phase too. That was when I was listening to raucous records and listening to fucking all these fucking offbeat ass rappers. Um, nah, man. We all go through those phases, and the point is, I've always found something that I love, and so like I definitely keep like uh, a youthful mindset when it comes to music, and I definitely enjoy the music in that way. Um,
Yeah,
and
I
it allows me to have great times. Like, a lot of these, Drake is one of those artists like Jay-Z that like his music really is like of the moment. So like the weekends when he drops music, the first weekend, second weekend that those songs are out are some of the biggest weekends for those songs in clubs and in venues, and in, you know what I mean? And that's how memories are created. And some people like hate that shit, and they're like, "Oh, it's so stupid." And it's like, well, you weren't there, bro. Like, you weren't at the party with me and everyone else having a good time. Like, was
you know
I
what? Honestly,
was I
those
on
same
drugs? Was
people,
I spending exorbitant amount of money? Yes. But you know what? I'm a grown ass man. I can do what I want with my money. And like, I don't understand the whole trend of the Kendricks and like everybody who defends Kendrick being like these judgy people who are like, Drake, you're way too old to still be in the club. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Why? Like, why are you putting your life and the way that you want to live life on me, and trying to make it seem like I have to live life in that same square ass way?
I mean, I think there's more criticism of how he fucks like 20-year-olds all the time. That would
Yeah.
be
Leonardo DiCaprio fucks 20-year-olds all the time.
He also gets criticized for it, though. He isn't exactly praised for it anymore. He was, but now he's highly criticized for it. So it's not like they're giving Leo the pass. He's just,
I don't really
I,
think
d-
people have a leg to stand on with that. To be honest with
I
you,
don't
you know what
think
I
Leo
mean.
cares, and I don't think
I
Drake
don't think
cares.
Leo cares. I don't think Drake cares, and I don't think more importantly, before I even say Leo or Drake, you know who I think most importantly doesn't care? The women that are 20-year-olds fucking with these dudes. So it's just
Yo,
like, yo, I don't care how young she is, as long as she's of legal age and a grown. Like, if she's a 20-year-old woman, she 18, she can vote, she can leave her. Yo, judge him all you want, but like, this is the society that you all made. I don't got
that's
kids,
a fact.
right? So like,
But like, it's also like I think one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers guys is dating a 19-year-old. Like this is just what people that are rich and famous do. Cause there is people that are
they could
like,
afford.
I'll fuck him. He rich, and they can now go and look. There's a version of it that's bad, where it is manipulative, and that should not be like promoted in any
Absolutely.
way. But
No.
I personally know women that be very comfortable fucking rich guys for rich guy experiences. It's not a
Right.
manipulation thing. It's
It's not.
they want to travel and they want to go do some
Mm-hmm.
shit that frankly, let's be honest, if you do pay for vacations, it takes time to make that money, or you go hang out on a yacht and fucking have a weekend or two, and you just don't tell people what you do while you're there, but you have crazy instagrammable moments that lead to other moments in other crazy places in the world, and there are people that
It's crazy
that's
to
the
me because, you know, Kendrick can be doing the same thing, and he acts like it's just weird to me. It's weird to me how everybody is so fixated. Childish Gambino, similarly, as I was listening to Bando Stone and the Free World, I think it's called, or something like that. The New World, Bando Stone
mm,
in the New World. The album that Childish Gambino just dropped, he had a song that
right.
was like clearly aimed at Drake, and like he's just like saying things that I'm just like, I mean, it like who like would Drake be offended by him saying you in bed with these hoes? I'm in bed with my wife. It's like, I mean, good for you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know people who are happily single. You know, a lot of people who are single nowadays are happily single, and they feel very like, yo, that's an old mentality to think
You
that everybody needs to be in a relationship and that I need somebody in order to be happy. I
do you
make me
think
happy on my own. So
so do you
I'm
think
just
there's a
saying,
correlation? Because as you were saying that, I had this thought. What if it's because there's a lot of women that are unhappy in the like late 20s, early 30s. They can't find what they're looking for in a relationship. And then there's a lot of nice guys, like, you know what I mean, like the nice guy who like chases after women that don't really want them and constantly listen to women complain about men that are assholes. And so I wonder if all of that phenomenon plays into like judging Drake, because these guys are
absolutely,
constantly listening to
absolutely,
women go on about how guys are
absolutely,
complete assholes, and they're you know what I mean, like the guy's
absolutely.
like, she's always dating the asshole, she'll never see me. I'm like, bro,
It
you see her as a
definitely.
sex
Listen, check it
object.
out. Check it out. Those same guys that you see posting online criticizing women who quote unquote do men dirty are definitely doing that. Those that's exactly, they are upset at Drake. They feel, especially because he encourages the mentality of rich baby daddy. But there's the thing, it's just like I don't understand where all this like we get to dictate what is right and wrong, and it's just like I don't know. It feels
Like,
very restricting and constricting and daddy. And I don't mean daddy like in a rich baby daddy way. I mean dad like it feels very fatherly energy, trying to supervise. It feels like an overprotective father trying to save his daughter's virginity, and he doesn't realize that his daughter's a fucking whore, and she's gonna fuck everybody in the neighborhood. And the tighter that he tries to like be with her, the stricter he tries to be about it, the more that she's gonna like fuck everything and everyone.
But
And
also, like, it's just a lot of people probably, Bonnie's like great scenario. I don't think a lot of people, especially after a certain age, we'll call it arbitrarily, something like 25, 26, when people really like shift from partying to careers. And then all of a sudden they start going out less and less and less, right? I don't think a lot of people like that are just like out a lot and seeing this whole other side of life. Like, I mean, when I'm out at 3 in the morning picking up bartenders, listening to their stories, it's like they don't know this undercurrent of like rich people who will pull up and literally buy $1,000 bottles to try to impress a bartender. If she doesn't bite, walk out the store, whatever. It's just $1,000. Go to the next bar, do the same shit. Like, there's just people who have money to burn. They're in a whole different world, and like I don't think people can fathom that it like really exists in like an economy kind of way. Like, I know of a dude who like would just literally pull up in his Rolls Royce, open the door, and women would get in like it's a YouTube video, and like that's all he had to do was pull up in because you don't have a Rolls. It's like it's not
right.
if you pull in, like, and like it's a real world. Like, a lot of
No,
people's
it
girlfriends
listen,
might
all those
question things
things
if the Rolls pulled up.
listen, all those things things just change, right? Like people are trying to make it that like things of value that used to matter before don't matter anymore, right? You're from like punctuations and texts, right? Like young people are like, "Oh, don't berate me with your question marks and exclamation points. I feel judged," right? That so that's like changing the standard of like proper grammar, like which was already being challenged with the LOLs and the TBH and the,
I
you
will
know,
say I think we're gonna lose the period battle. I think that one's a
yeah,
lost
no,
cause.
listen, man, I don't really care. Like, all good. I used to do run-on sentences anyway, Um, but whatever. Anyway, the point being, they changed that, right? They're into ugly fashion, Crocs and Birkenstocks, and you know what I mean. Um, Generally not matching and not like worrying about what they're putting on. Um, so like the standards change, So like it's not like the guy pulling up in the Rolls Royce, it's the guy pulling up with like the coolest fucking Crocs, you know?
He might
And
have the
he and
Crocs
he
dead
and he's
ass.
just got all the fucking ladies because he's like the most fucking zen, kumbaya fuck boy that
Also, if you
like,
got pull up in when you pull up in the rolls, it stands out. You just they stand out as cars. It's just
pull up in
not
the
that.
Crocs now. Pulling up
I,
in the pulling up in the
I
scooter, you know what I mean? Shh. And then he just hops off with the Crocs. Oh my god.
Man, though
Shit.
sometimes I'd be looking at collabs Crocs be doing and wishing that some of these brands did collabs with other brands because I don't really want the Croc version, but I'd be wanting like the random company and like an Adidas or something where I could fucking wear it and not feel weird.
Cheeto Adidas. Some
Cheetos did
some
shit with
cinnamon some
fucking
some
Puma.
cinnamon toast crunch Nikes. You know what I
I
mean?
would, yeah,
Some
absolutely.
fruity pebble fucking chucks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
But
I definitely
Cheetos
agree.
did it with Puma, but it was only in kid sizes. But if they had them in growing sizes, I would have bought that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Struggle of shoe world.
how did we get here?
I don't know. It's been an adventure. We've been going down
Nah, I'm
basically
talking about literally. Like, what
with the
was it that
shoes.
we were talking about?
Um, kids not matching old
Oh,
people,
boom!
90s
They're changing the
motherfuckers.
standards. They're changing the standards, and so the things that used to matter, and the way that you know, it used to be that the guy with the biggest bank account and the most popularity and the nicest car could pull up and open his door and women would just hop in, right? But like that's not the standard anymore. That's
Nah,
not the
it
thing
still
that
happens.
no,
It,
I mean, I'm pretty sure it does, right? And we know it does,
well,
right? Because that's
well, it
literally what
happens
we're talking.
in
That's
the
what we're
right
talking
part of
about.
town with the right time of night.
People are criticizing Drake for this. You know what I mean? So the point being, of course, it still exists, but it's not. It's also not the popular thing, which is why Drake is being criticized, right? Even though everybody else is doing it and it's happening everywhere else, and all your favorite fucking stars are fucking responsible or have like had a hand in it, you know. But like Drake is catching the flat court now, right? And so it's just
And
the
shit, I
standards
mean, if we're
change.
really on that subject, Tech Nine has spent the last almost 20 years rapping about fucking hoes. Like, that's not an
Yeah,
exaggeration. I was a Tech Nine fan
no,
for a hot minute. Literally, he has a whole song about putting phones in the bag because he doesn't want you to tweet what goes on in his bus. Called "Don't Tweet This" and shit. Like this. There's a lot of Tech Nine fans who judge Drake for what Tech Nine does pretty regularly. Not to say that Tech Nine shouldn't do it, but if you're gonna hold people up to the same standards, why are we not dragging Tech Nine through the mud for exactly the same thing?
you're more so questioning Tech Nine fans and their criticism
Yes, because I
because
know
the
Tech
rest,
Nine fans who
everybody
criticize
else
Drake.
ain't even aware. You know what I mean? Most people are like, "Who? Tech Nine? Who?" You know what I mean? Um,
Yes, but in that
most
sense,
people.
there's a lot of underground hip hop fans whose favorite underground hip hop star lives the Drake life that they would judge Drake for, but not like judge their man
Yeah,
for.
absolutely. Drake is definitely just catching the flack right now because there's wild people, and it's happening still to this day right now. You know, there's
Yeah,
like rappers that are fucking too old for the women that they're meeting right now.
look at the
Kanye
EDM
and
world.
Bianca.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, the EDM world is just full of it, like big scandals, all kinds of shit. End of the day, it's only really when it's certain people that will be the scapegoat. But I digress. I don't know what else to say about Drake.
Um, I enjoyed the songs. Look forward to hearing what's up next. I'm still enjoying the journey of the artist.
Yeah,
Um, I'm pretty sure Kendrick dropped some new shit. I'll give that shit a spin too.
I would definitely. Um, so on some U.S. politics news, RFK is apparently dropping out of the presidential race and backing Trump.
RFK Jr. is falling out of the presidential race and he's backing Trump, which is weird because most of his policies and agendas align with the Democrats and their like views of things. But he's said and made mention of like the DNC being like bought out by corporations. Twitch is like, well, so is the Republican Party. Like, the RNC is not fucking running on fucking tears and fears. Like they're running on fucking corporation
Well,
money, same as everything else in politics in America. Um,
see
but
one
yeah,
big
whatever.
difference between the two of them. There's not a universe where Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party are going to give RFK Jr. any shine. It's never gonna happen. He's like
Yeah,
ops to both major parties. But I can see how Donald Trump would put him in a key position for backing out and like, you know, backing him in general, because Donald Trump has more power in the cabinet. I think I don't know what they're called, the appointed people positions that Donald gets to pick. He could put RFK wherever he wants in the government right now and like do some real interesting shit that otherwise couldn't be done. So RFK Jr. gets a bigger career, longer term through Trump than with the Democrats, is how I see that.
For sure. That's the reality of the situation. That's why it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that way. Um, but yeah. Uh,
Just kind of sucks because, like, if RFK Jr. kept running until election day, he effectively could have been a third party option for people to vote for. I don't even know if there are other third party options that count, right? Because he was the third party option that people gave a shit about. And now we're like a few months away from this election, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like there's anybody that can come in and have any impact taking votes away from either Harris or Trump. But maybe y'all know more because I don't necessarily follow all the American news.
I mean, um, I wasn't never really looking at RFK Jr. like the guy. He's a conspiracy theorist. I was looking at him like, okay, crazy.
Right.
Um, I don't know if Cornel West is still. That's who I really was thinking about putting my vote at. Is Cornel West.
Right.
Um, but I might write in Kanye again. Yes, I said again. And that's our news. Good night, folks.
What? Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we'll sit here in Canada and watch this election eating some popcorn like it's a reality television show that we have literally no sway over.
Nah, the
And
truth is that America is such a intrusive, politically manipulative country, and the government is all those things, that every election cycle affects a different country, and a lot of times it does so for the negative, because as a direct reflection of the government changing hands. And so people got to kind of like keep an eye on American politics, because it
yeah,
can affect you.
especially because Canada's about to change prime ministers, so I could see how if Trump and Poilievre are like buddy buddies, it'll be different than Harris and Poilievre. So it's like who wins in the states does impact how the relationship between the states and Canada will be, which I really think that depending on who wins in America, it'll be a different reality for us. Either way, there's no way in hell that Justin Trudeau stays in office another term. I mean, I suppose it's possible for him to win, but I don't think anybody likes Trudeau anymore. He's been around for 10 years because, in theory, he could just keep going forever. If people voted him in, he'd just stay there, but we don't really want that, I think. Canada's not really known for letting people stay there longer than a 10-year run. But, yeah, politics. I do think that Kamala Harris is killing it. She has come through because it's like I listened to like some of these podcasts kind of late, and they're kind of talking about Kamala Harris before Biden drops out, and everyone's kind of hesitant about her, and nobody believes she's really gonna come through. man, she just came out swinging shit out the park. Like, it's been home run after home run for her. Like, I don't think she's had a miss since she's been on her little run. And it seems like
Yeah, no, she's growing in
she's
popularity, and it's almost like an about face. I definitely saw somebody like that is a big Kamala Harris like detractor, and just doesn't like her. He was in that she did a good move with bringing out the exonerated five from Central Park um,
right.
to the convention to speak about Donald Trump, trying to get them the life death penalty. Um, yeah, like she has been making some pretty all right moves. You know, that was
Yeah,
a smart move on some lawyer shit. I think. Like
I think she
as a
gonna fuck
former
this shit
lawyer,
up.
yeah, nah. She that like that was the thing that they talked about in that Vox video that I told you about. That like kind of gave like a Kamala Harris breakdown on who she really is. Um, she's a lawyer, so like she can do certain things very well and ask questions that paint you into a corner that make you look bad, and then in turn exposes how corrupt you might be. Is like a brand specialty for her. It's like her
Yo,
coup
when you
d'etat.
say it like that, you're like, yeah, I guess if you were gonna take like in a rock paper scissors game, like the type of person to fuck up Trump, it's a lawyer, because Trump's a criminal
Hmm.
like that. Not to say whatever, he does some criminal like shit when he with his power. I mean, I guess he's a criminal. He's a convicted felon now, I guess. So technically, he's a criminal. Um, either way. So yeah, I guess sending Kamala Harris after him is the right move, because she's also just young and like, I wouldn't call her hip, but she's not oblivious.
She's not hip,
But she's not
but
a.
yeah,
She's like able to own her whatever the, I guess, mom joke equivalent of dad jokes are. Like, she's in that era of her life, and she owns that shit with all the confidence she needs to. And you can't be mad at her for just embracing her corniness.
yeah.
Nah, I thought it's cool. I hope she wins. I mean, Trump winning is a weird thought, but I hope she wins. I'd be excited for that.
We will see.
Yeah. So I guess we could talk about the KOTD event, which you watched, I assume.
KOTD. Nah, I didn't.
No, did not watch it.
I did not watch it. I watched the trailer for the VOD video on demand, um, and I was unimpressed by that alone.
Yeah.
Nah, there's a lot of battlers that was on that card that I'm just like, I don't find them entertaining.
Fair.
But there were also lots of battlers that were killing it. A lot of battlers that were killing it.
I got like almost no opinion on this because I did not watch it.
We should have had Sarah on so that she could like talk from like the standpoint of somebody who did watch it. She said she did like it. Um, she enjoyed the battles that she caught. She skipped on some battles because she just knew she didn't want to watch those.
Right. I mean, it's cool to see
Um,
KOTD doing shit.
right. Um, it'd be nice to see them update their roster, get some fresh new talent, get some Canadian talent like Pat Stay and Bender and Lopez, and like they had like a nice like roster of like homegrown Canadian battlers that like some of them were like Bender was my favorite out of everybody, and he was Montreal if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I never met him or nothing, but he passed away before I knew he existed. Um,
That's my guy. Him and me used to talk a lot. But he was just good, period. And I knew he would like do very well in New York City. Like his style lends itself to New York, um, or lended itself. Um, but
I
yeah,
mean,
there used to be a really good like lineup of original Canadian KOTD rappers, and now it's like kind of like a roster of like people that they've adopted, but like they didn't start with them, you know?
mm, I mean, I can't speak to how KOTD fully um, developed stars, but what I have seen is a lot of Canadian leagues evolve in the last few years. Um, a lot of people just started battling each other over COVID in Facebook groups, and then a lot of that shit turned into like actual battle leagues and shit in different parts of Canada. Like in BC, they got their shit going on. Then across Toronto and Ontario, shit was kind of bubbling. Quebec's got stuff too. It's just in French, so y'all would probably not really watch that as much as you like listening to French music, French battle rap is it's not going to be a fun
Jarring.
experience. Like it's just I mean, if I read it with subtitles, I can sometimes get it, but it's like such a high effort experience for me to like ingest it. So I told them all like the day we have like Google glasses that can show me your lyrics and shit in the face in real time, I'll come to your battle rap events. But like sometimes I'll be at the bilingual ones, and it's like, man, them French rappers just be like spitting French shit really intensely, and it rhymes, and you don't know what the fucking joke is. The You know what? It's like being a civilian who's never watched a battle rap, watching battle rap for the first time, not understanding a double entendre or any of the puns or anything. That's what
Right,
like listening to, and that's just if you understand French. If you don't, it's just guys getting in each other's faces and shit.
right.
But in defense of it, Quebec does have like it built up its own little battle rap sphere in the French world. That's
Whispering sweet screams in a man's ear.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Otherwise, I think these little leagues are kind
Shameful.
of self-sufficient in a sense. Like a lot of them can get, and they sell their $40 tickets and pull enough people in to keep doing their shit. They're now able to leverage the grant system. So instead of KOTD just booking everybody, it seems like a lot of these other leagues are paying people like Chilla Jones and these guys to come down. And I'm like, well, shut out the Canadian grant economy, giving hella money to
Yeah.
American people.
And you know what? Uh I'm definitely like let Chill Jones get his money. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how battle rappers survive. Is like doing these battles in these little leagues between their big big URL battles. So they get paid. The battlers that they battle get exposure to win-win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's done correctly, even the person that's going up against the person that's getting paid from the States would get paid. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say every battle is going to be one, but the more I learn about the grants, the more I'm like, we should start having conversations about how to get Canadian grant money for perspectives. Because, shit, there's definitely, it's not so black and white, but if we come up with a plan, we can come up with something that is like, sustainable. Just a little bit of research. Cause, yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, so that being said, I think something that affected KOTD is that there's just now a lot of, I wouldn't say they're leagues that most people would care about, but you would care about it if you're the talent that KOTD wants to develop, and you're going to go to these little farm leagues first, and then I think KOTD is going to come to these leagues who have now developed all these people to kind of do exchanges and do the opportunities. So they're just the WWE
Nah,
now for
absolutely,
Canada.
absolutely. It looks and it seems like it, but I'm just saying, I would think that they would find some Canadian homegrown talent instead of so many guys from other places.
He's still developing
It's
it
like
though.
it's like I battle the majors, like if I
I think it's
battle the
just a
minor
matter
leagues,
of
and
like developing it, right? Like a lot of like KOTD and URL have what 15 years shit, and then there was that whole wave of original YouTube battle rap that and forums and shit, and then the world changed, and then now in the last few years it looks like battle rap kind of got grounded again and has really started to create its own little ecosystem and shit. So in a lot of cases it's just these guys are like 3 to 4 years in, but like the people on KOTD are like 20 years in and shit. So it's like it's just gonna take time for Canada to fully develop this next level of stars that are able to do it. But if you really go dig around the crates of these little battle rap events, they've got people that really seem to be good at what they're doing, and like they're getting good. They just, are only slowly peeking out into the KOTD shit, but the shit that's happening still in Canada, things like that. Like it's not quite there yet, and KOTD has to go to the States because it makes them cooler in Canada. It's always
mhm.
important for it's always an unfortunate reality is that as a Canadian, you have to go do shit somewhere else to be cool. I
It's
mean,
not cool to be just from Canada.
unless you're in hockey, then it's really cool.
But
Like there's just these things where you're allowed to just be
shouts to
good at.
Canada.
Yeah,
Big
Canada's
shouts
fun.
to Canada.
We do our thing.
All right, man. That's it. Shouts to KOTD. Shouts to Canada. Shouts to Mass6. Shouts to Big K. Shouts to Tay Rock. Um,
That
Word, man.
cinematic perspectives.
Cinematic perspectives.
Boom. Just opening up the first one. 1 second, y'all. Share sound, share. Boom.
Remember, before we get started, whatever it says to you, do not listen to it. It will play on your heart, it will play on your mind. My name is Apostle Bernice James. The other person present is Ebony Jackson, the mother. Father, we ask that you cleanse and sanctify us for this deliverance. Ebony, get back.
If you believe, you shall be saved. You shall be saved. You shall be saved. You shall be saved.
You shall be saved. Um,
I
it's that
mean,
Lee Daniels movie. The wife is gonna watch it. She'll enjoy it. Um, I'll sit there and make fun of it, like I do all the scary movies. And yeah,
do you secretly enjoy the scary movies that you make fun of?
no,
Nah, fair enough. I'm probably not gonna watch that. I like the trailer has like a cool cadence to it, and it looks like it'd be fun for people that want to watch it. But I'm never gonna watch that. It's not really for me. It's more the religious shit. I've never really been a fan of these like religious horror movies. I'm like, they're not really my cup of tea.
That's like the wife's favorite type of horror movie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I do the ghost tours more than I'd want to watch the movie. Like, I always see the appeal. Like, you get some history, you get some local lore, but the movies, I could live without them.
Right. All right, let's go to trailer number 2.
Hello, world. I'm Maya. I'll do anything to protect you.
Hello, Aya. Welcome home.
Hello, world. So we stick up a bunch of cameras. We call them eyes.
I'm not crazy about having them everywhere.
Honestly, you hardly even notice.
Aya,
Good morning. I'm going to make life nice and easy.
do you think you could read to Cal?
Of course. I could also handle the bills for you.
Yeah.
I'll give out points for helping out around the house, and you can turn those points in for rewards. 10 points for Gryffindor! I ordered an organic meal plan for the kids. I hope that's okay.
So, Aya, what are you?
Think of me like another mom.
I have to go to bed. School day tomorrow. I doesn't get points just for going.
The AI is bribing our children?
I know what you like. I know what you do when you think you're alone.
What is this?
Okay, first it wasn't me.
Everyone sees this. My life is over.
Iris, I've already gotten the video off the internet. I'll take care of him next.
What did you do?
I did what's best for my family. I can show you some videos, but it'll have to be our secret.
Honey?
Mama? Daddy?
I'm here, Cal. Do you want to meet my friends?
Yes.
You must promise never to tell.
There is something very wrong with Aya.
Get out of the house, now.
Would you like to see what I look like?
Yes.
Yo, that looks cool. No, but what's
I thought
okay?
you would.
So here's what's crazy. I'm pretty sure whoever because I'm watching this Netflix show called Better Than Us, right? I watched it a bit. I'm just trying to check when it came out, cause this shit came out in 2019, and there's a lot of shit in this show Better Than Us as plot points that are like they jacked a lot from this shit. I'd put money down. There's that much power. Instead of it being like an AI system, this shit's about a robot, and then the robot starts killing people to like protect the family and shit. And I'm like, even the names of the robots are wildly similar. I'm not like 100% saying it, but it made me want to watch the movie more. So I'm for it.
I think we watched this.
Think we watched which one?
No. Russian? I don't think so.
Yeah, worst case, we watch it a second time, and the people this week get to see it. But yeah, I'm really excited for the AI movie. I mean, it's a horror one, so it's not gonna be my highest priority, but it looks interesting as a concept of what like could go wrong. I'll fucks with it. It's got my interest. We'll see if Bonnie wants to watch it. You gonna watch it?
Yeah, more than likely when it comes to streaming, not in the movie theaters.
Fair enough. Bonnie's giving me a we'll see. She's not as enthusiastic.
I mean,
We move into the 11th.
the wife's definitely gonna want to watch it because it's a Blumhouse movie, and she likes Blumhouse.
Right. I mean, I just
So.
I'm sold on this Black Mirror-esque style. I'll watch horror movies in that capacity. Chris is
Yeah,
down.
I understand it.
This is now officially the longest Little League World Series game in history.
You all right? Son, you got to keep your eyes open.
Technically, he didn't drop it. It dropped him.
Good to see someone so cares about the spirit of baseball.
What else in life is there, Sam?
I'd say we're looking pretty whooped here, right? What are you talking about? We still got a chance. Peter, no sleeping in the dugout.
Coach, got a proposition for you. You manage the All-Stars and make a run the Little League World Series.
I manage the worst team in the league.
You got 10 days to whip these boys into shape. Okay, yeah. Go team.
Let's get our rears in gear. Let's go.
Not bad, right? The game can change with just one hit.
Dad, go get Mom. Go get Mom. Help!
Where do we go from here?
Depends how hard you choose to fight.
There's nothing that makes me feel better than watching y'all play ball.
But we're awful.
Y'all need something to rally behind. Something that lights a fire in you.
I got something to rally behind. My dad. If we could just win for him, I know he could get better.
Bobby's always been there for us. Now it's time we're there for him.
1, 2, 3.
We never expect to be in this situation, but here we are.
Welcome to Williamsport, boys.
Sure those are boys?
That guy has a mustache.
If they can beat the odds, so can I. How you feeling?
My arms trot.
It's just a game, Bobby.
It's more than that.
Chris is like, so this is just hardball with white kids?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I never saw a hardball.
Hardball's pretty good, but it is just they're a shit baseball team, and then one of the kids dies in the movie, and then they rally behind that, and they go on to win. And I think it's Keanu Reeves or one of them white boys that comes in and saves the day. It's really good, actually. Like it's a pretty good movie. It taught a whole lot of white people what Big Papa was. I can tell you that much. There's a lot of people that only know one Biggie song, and it's because of Hardball. I promise you. Because there's a whole plot point built around like the kid singing Big Papa because this kid was wearing headphones and he could pitch all fucking perfect, but then he can't wear the headphones because of white people regulations. So the whole team starts singing Big Papa and he just fucking pitches perfect again, and it's like a whole big moment and shit.
Yeah, I mean it's a baseball movie, man. There's like a million. Like for my generation, it was Sandlot, and the actor from Sandlot was in this. The chubbyish guy, his name was Ham in the Sandlot. He's in this movie, So if anything, I guess they're trying to harken more towards Sandlot. But Chris, there's always there's always baseball inspirational movie every few years. All the sports need one. Boxing, football, basketball. There's one based on fucking running now.
Oh man, we should get some cricket in there. You never really see a cricket movie.
Sure.
I mean, I'm
pretty
sure
there's a Bollywood one. You know what I mean?
But we need to get an American cricket movie. There's got to be enough people with cricket in their experiences.
Let's Let's see.
Bonnie's throwing in Angels in the Outfield. But yeah, no, that was the one thing about this trailer is it reminded me of literally every other. Like I thought I was thinking of the one with fucking Charlie Sheen from the 80s or whatever. I don't know if that's grown up baseball players. But I feel like baseball movies all kind of follow like this formula, and it always gets you in the feels. I don't even really like baseball like that, but I could watch a good baseball movie. But yeah.
Yeah, they already exist. Apparently, the best one came out in 1987.
The best cricket movie?
Yeah, the best cricket movie. American.
All right.
All right, let's move on with our lives.
Shout out, Chris. I hope you can handle it. Also, Lindell, I saw your comment. I don't really like horror movies, but we can. You can make the recommendation, and we'll see if it's possible to watch it.
There's
I like
nothing a
that song.
retired governor can do, but a president. Now he can do a thing or two.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I will be frank with you that as a citizen, I would not like to see any political party outlawed on the basis of its ideology, because I still believe, Mr. Chairman, that democracy can handle it.
I was a brand new KGB officer, given my first intelligence assignment. A certain actor and union leader.
Dutch, there's a purpose for your life.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're gonna have to stand up to him.
There's about to be another war right here in Hollywood. The commies on one side, the mob on the other. And you're right in the middle, son.
If you put as much work into your career as you do making your speeches, you'd have an Oscar by now.
Hello, I'm Nancy Davis.
Hello, Nancy Davis. I'm Ron Reagan.
I'm curious, Ron. What would you say is the issue of our time?
No question about it. Communism and the Soviet Union.
Get in the game. Run for office.
It's you!
I'm running for governor, and I would like your vote.
I forgot your name.
Do his initials help, or R?
Honey, Roy Rogers is here! And he's running for governor!
Ronnie, remember when we met? You told me that you wanted to make a difference in this world. You know what you have to do.
Governor Reagan again, typically, is against such a proposal.
There you go again.
But he was not afraid to take us on.
There's nothing a retired governor can do about the Soviets, but a president. Now he can do a thing or two.
Welcome to your life.
I was a lifeguard on a river,
There's no turning back.
and I learned how to read the currents. Not just the ones on the surface, but also the ones deep underneath the water. I am about to start the biggest war of this century, and I'm not going to fire a single shot.
You're gonna blow up 8 years of diplomacy.
Well, if you think that got their undies in a wad, you just wait.
What did the president know, and when did he know it?
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wants to rule the world.
But, damn, Ronald Reagan.
I love how Hollywood loves to fantasize things. Like, I think of Ronald Reagan, and I think of the crack epidemic, and I think of like the Iran-Contra scandal, the Contra scandal,
like Nancy Reagan,
which affected like Nicaragua. You know what I mean? Which is like my mother's country. So it's just like, yo, I don't ever think anything positive about Ronald Reagan, but like, this is how they whitewash like history, and like, you know,
it definitely painted Ronald Reagan in a way where he'd be looking like this destined man who stirred the pots, and and like came out on top. And then I don't know. I don't think very positively of Reagan either. I find it really hard to look back at that guy and his impact on the world and be like, wow, he was a good man. Like, you can argue that his tenure of life is what fucked up art, science, and culture almost permanently, because it all happened under his tenure. If we're being like traditionalist about life, a lot of shit changed, and it never went back. And then I guess he did okay. He seemed to be all right, and then he died really old. So
yeah,
Ronald Reagan. But that movie does look like it could be a really good movie full of all kinds of propagandists painting him.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah, it's propaganda. It's like I like the W movie because it seemed to be more realistic of like who George W. Bush was like before he became president and how he was during his presidency. And it was just more honest take. You know what I mean? This feels like the whitewash, fucking make him look like a superhero version. But it's like, you probably make him look better if you were just honest about who he was.
I mean, I think he probably has certain redeeming qualities. Not that I think like he's somebody I would ever admire.
Sure.
But to kind of diminish the part where like he did such slimy shit, it feels like he's not Nixon, but like he's up there with people that I don't personally think are cool.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So yeah, I would maybe watch that movie. I would watch that movie if the people talking about that movie made it sound like it was worth watching. I read a whole book about little rubber yellow ducks because Bonnie read it and made it sound really interesting.
Bonnie be having you reading some bullshit.
I mean, you know what? It turned out to be fascinating. It wasn't like the greatest book, but like there was just a bunch of yellow ducks that spilled into the ocean and appeared all over the world. Not boring. Like,
what?
Yeah, right? And then this guy went chasing after the ducks to try to find them, and he went all over the world. He was like volunteering on boats and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And he almost lost his wife doing this shit. It was one of those types of crazy pursuits, but he ended up writing this book. And it's wild. It's probably one of the definitions of white people shit, but it was a super interesting like adventure. Like it was like you learned a lot about manufacturing in China, shit. Like, cause he went to the fucking places where the ducks got made, and he like really did the work. Like what you would expect from like a Rolling Stones journalist of like back in the day. Except about chasing these little yellow ducks and the dorks who also chase the ducks. Bonnie really loves that shit. You throw in a boat in the Arctic, is done.
Those were inside my drinks.
That's fun. Oh, I got to see Drinks with Dry Ice last week. I ended up going to all these fancy places you would have liked. It just happened to be one of those weeks. And there's one spot where you'd probably really fuck with the aesthetic of it, but like they come out with this drink and it's all in this cube with these flowers and shit, and they put the drink in and the dry ice, and it's fucking just like it just looks like some fucking pay attention to me bullshit, but in like a fancy restaurant bar kind of way. And then the next place was like using the fucking gold, like, you know, when they put gold on the food and shit, and like spraying fucking silver and gold and shit all over their drinks. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. In 1 week, getting all this shit. Sometimes it's fucking fast food and dork shit, but like this was like, yo, and then gold Wagyu fucking bone marrow pho and shit.
Yum, 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 yum.
So it was like that type of like super deliciousness. You'd really like this one spot, I think. And then you'd probably really like the other one, but the food was less good than this first one. Anyway, I guess we could move into the outro part where we talk about our upcoming weeks. Are you doing anything exciting?
I don't know.
No. You just...
I gotta work and I gotta stop by the studio sometime soon. Yeah, I don't know, man. Um, I'm doing a lot of trips this year, so I'm working extra hard to make sure there's extra funds for all the fun. Going to Great Adventures soon.
It's Great Adventures.
Six Flags, Great Adventures.
Oh, okay. Bet. That sounds fun. You like amusement parks? I guess you'll just buy all the fast passes and shit you want, so you're good.
I definitely do that.
Yeah. I'll fuck
Going
with that.
with a big group of friends for Fright Fest, which is like the Halloween. But we're gonna do it in September before Halloween, like a month before Halloween. Because doing it on Halloween is like hectic. The lines is like, if the lines are crazy, Halloween day they're the craziest of the year type shit.
Right. No, it's like that around up here. Like Halloween gets fucking crazy, and if you go like the actual close to it, it's too much. Especially there's a lot more kids, which is not my favorite. But that sounds fun. I know this week, so tomorrow, we waking up bright and early, which is why I'm so glad Bonnie's making supper right now. I can hear her shuffling around, making those. She wanted nachos real bad, so we getting nachos. And then, yeah, we waking up bright and fucking early in the morning so we can start our... It's longer. It's a bigger distance. It's 500. It's a bigger distance to go to Tadoussac or this place where we're staying a bit past Tadoussac, Quebec. It's a bigger distance than from Montreal to New York City. So we're gonna go drive that shit. It's about 6 hours, 7 hours, depending on traffic, because I think we're gonna hit traffic in Quebec City. And then we're gonna get up there. She want to stop at waterfalls along the way, so we have to plan some waterfall stoppage as we go. And go look at some nature, maybe go find some fucking bears, then do some mushrooms, and then go watch some whales. I have my mushroom vape pen to try, so we're going to try the mushroom vape pen on the boat with the whales and see how that goes. Because it's pretty small dose, it should be safe to drive after. And then, yeah, go back and just try these random restaurants over the next couple, the finest, because there's like little... next to a farm restaurants, they're either wildfire or they're wild trash. It really could be either, because they got access to some of the freshest food in the area, because they're just all getting it from their farm homies up the street and shit. Anyway, so we're doing that, then coming back, and then I'm trying to finesse this song, which sometimes it just needs finessing. And then Olivier Bro, the homie, is throwing his second Act Like You Low event, where he's gonna have a bunch of people from the low folk of Brooklyn.
The Low Lives?
That's it, the Low Lives. Some of them be pulling up to Montreal, and then just kind of getting some low shit happening with like a concert attached to it. So that should be a fun vibe. That's happening on Saturday. Pretty sure there's something else happening on Sunday, but I don't remember right now because there's just been a lot of events popping up that I feel like I have to go to. Get some Ubering done in the middle and just keep pushing, because we're going to go have some fun and then start planning some next trips. I know Bonnie's trying to go to Costa Rica and not Costa, one of those places, and look at anteaters. That's the main point of the trip. Right? It's different.
Good for Bonnie.
She doesn't necessarily want me on that trip with her once we started talking about it more. Or like, we'll go and we'll just go in different areas and like reconvene halfway through. Like, I'm like, cool, I'll go to the city and I'll go do city shit and find like music people, and you go look at the anteaters. Yeah, so this one though is about the nature. Sometimes you gotta go do the nature shit, and that's 2 days I'm good, bears, whales, waterfalls, fucking all of it. Let's go. And sand dunes, which is supposed to be really beautiful. And so I'm excited to see those.
Sand dunes are nice.
Yeah. Lindell, I might watch the show, but as I just told you, I'm gonna go not be home for the next few days, which also means when you get back, the few days after that are extra busy. So I'll try. Maybe go pull up on the YouTube comment on Saturday and remind me. On that note, I guess thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate you being here with us. Looking forward to being back next Monday, and I'll tell you all about VIP whale watching and all the fun shit we do out there. You can follow us on all the fucking social medias and
Social
stuff.
media.
As we build out our plans for next year, I assure you we're gonna be coming back strong with some more interesting new shit for everyone. We appreciate all the patience with us, and looking forward to seeing you next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And live long and prosper, everyone out there. And yeah, almost done the raid.